Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name's Cassidy LeBlanc, and this is the second episode of Consciousness is a Drag. Now, for this episode, what I'm going to be discussing is something that's actually very, very personal for me. Personal and vulnerable. I'm going to be discussing my healing journey. And that wraps into my own spiritual awakening. Before I get into that information of the healing that I've gone through and the spiritual awakening that I've gone through, I need to discuss with you some experiences that I have gone through in my past. Now, as much as I would like to say everything was great, it wasn't. And I don't feel like I have to get into the details of what exactly happened. But I will say that the experiences that I have gone through left me with feelings of grief, abandonment trauma, sadness and depression, and anxiety. I wanted so desperately to be loved by everybody. I put that smile on my face to shield away the sadness, to put a mask on. So I couldn't show the world how much pain that I was actually going through. And I'm not going to say as well that I am a victim, because I'm not a victim. I don't regret any of the experiences that happened to me, because I know that all of these experiences have made me who I am today, and I am proud to be who I am today. Now, as time went by, I grew up into adulthood, and I suppressed all of these feelings and ignored them and resisted them. But the laws of the universe is whatever resists, persists. And as you continue to resist feelings in your body, especially the negative ones, they just mirror back closer and closer and closer. I was in a relationship, and unfortunately we didn't work out. And after we didn't work out and we broke up, all of my deep-seated wounds bubbled up to the surface. At first, I thought to myself, wow, I am feeling so much heartbreak and so much grief over this one loss of this person. And then I realized that no, this is a sensation that is actually layered. I'm actually re-experiencing the trauma of my childhood through this sense of loss. I tried to cope in any sort of way that I possibly could. And one of my main coping mechanisms that's been very, very positive for me my entire life is through the use of artistry, expressive arts. All of the arts has been a beautiful way for me to transform energy in my body. So one day, and this was in January of 2019, I drew a picture of a woman meditating on an eclipse. Coincidentally, which I do not find to be a coincidence, this was the same week as the January blood moon eclipse. And after realizing the synchronicity, I took it to heart and thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should try a meditation. Now, my dear friend Laurel helped us through the meditation. And the question that she asked, which I am so grateful that she asked, was, what are you afraid of? What popped into my heart space was, I am afraid of being alone. And the next question that she asked was, what does that fear need? Something deep inside of me said, I needed to start my self-love journey. Now, you might think to yourself, oh wow, how cliche, okay? Is this turning into the sisterhood of the traveling pants? No, it isn't, because I'm not wearing pants. But the fact of the matter is that I needed to actually go on my self-love journey. I had never actually fully committed to that. I had always tried my best to avoid the pain happening inside of me. So I started looking into a lot of different things. First of all, attachment theory. So then I asked myself the question, well, how can I heal or change my attachment style to be something more secure? And there was 2 answers that I found. Number 1, get into a relationship with somebody who is secure that can make you secure. That wasn't going to happen anytime soon. Or number 2, give yourself the love that you need. And that's exactly what I started doing. So I started to do research around what self-love looked like. And for me, the things that resonated was inner child work and delving into the subconscious mind. And coincidentally, which I do not believe in coincidences, as soon as I started looking into the subconscious mind, going with my inner child, starting to listen to this inner child, that's as soon as I met a hypnotherapist that changed my life. Now, she asked me, Casey, how are you doing? And I said, things are good. I have a good apartment. I have good friends. The job situation is fine. And then I told her the truth about what was really going on. And I said, look, I went through a breakup. All of my deep-seated wounds have bubbled up to the surface. And I'm ready to just start my self-love journey. And she looked at me and she said, you know what? I can help you with that. Now, the first session that we had was absolutely life-changing for me. Basically, what happened is that she brought me into my subconscious mind, and there I adopted my inner child. This fundamental of my personality. This seed inside of me that was constantly needing and seeking attention, that wanted healing, that wanted to be listened to. Something that I've been ignoring and resisting my entire life. And through that process of hypnotherapy, delving into my subconscious mind, adopting my inner child, listening to it, nurturing it, holding it in that aspect, I went through an incredible healing journey and spiritual awakening through the process. That night, when I fell asleep, I literally felt my brain reprogram. I felt this death and life experience happening all night. And when I woke up in the morning, I literally felt like a different person. Energetically in my body, I felt a level of spaciousness that I had never had before. Because that spaciousness that was new was always filled with grief and sadness and abandonment. I ended up sort of missing the sensation of grief, missing that sensation of anguish. And I remember asking my hypnotherapist, is it weird that I actually have a little bit of grief over the fact that I don't feel this grief anymore? And she said to me, that is completely normal. It's a normal process of healing because we have to get used to our new bodies after going through healing. And because of this healing, because of the spaciousness in my energetic body after the healing process, I had a spiritual awakening in which I felt cosmic energy from the universe flood into my body. It expanded my consciousness, my capacity to see, to be open, to be present. Something that I am so incredibly grateful for. Just because I went through that journey does not mean that it's the end. Because the fact of the matter is that we can never stop growing, learning, healing, and awakening. I'm still going through that process. And my hope by sharing this story with you is that going through an awakening, going through a healing experience does not mean that it's about an end goal, about fixing yourself. Because the fact of the matter is that we're not broken, but we can always become more authentic, more whole, more free in ourselves. This is my own personal journey. This is my own experience. Okay, truck. I'm going on a spiritual journey right here with my fans, okay? Make sure to find the joy in your life and ask yourself too, what do you fear? And what does that fear need?